And we're back at the spot on a beautiful summer day in July. Let me show you what's going on. It was necessary to get some solar power and some internet for safety reasons, more than just convenience. I'm out here by myself using, chainsaws and moving heavy logs and rocks. And if something happens to me by myself, I got to be able to call somebody. So look at that. I got an EcoFlow. It's like a little EcoFlow river. I think it's a river too. And that comes with its own solar panel, which is working just great. And the Starlink took about 10 minutes to set up, but it worked great. I got 2 of these batteries for the Starlink, and one of them was bad. So I have to try and get in touch with the people that sold me that. But it works good. It works fine. If you see the display, it shows me, how much power is coming in and going out. I have power coming in from this power station inverter and from EcoFlow. And then you can see on the unit itself, it tells you what's going on. I don't know if you can see past the glare, but it tells you what's going on, what's coming in from the solar and what's going out to this guy. So I have a battery in there. Whoops. So this battery is basically, it's getting charged while it's being used. I think that that's okay. I think that it's working out. And as is the power station, it's getting charged while it's being used. That seems to be okay with both of these units. And I have pretty decent internet. I was able to call my wife. There was a couple dropouts, but hey, it's better than nothing. And so that was step 1. I'm gonna look at this picnic table that my neighbor is giving me. It's down there on the side of his property. It's old, it's heavy, it's rotten, it's kind of like not worth it, but the frame underneath it looks like it's pretty good. So if I can get it or parts of it over here and then go get some more wood, because I have to go to the mill anyway. I need to get as close to that picnic table as possible. It's super hot outside. It's super heavy. I'm probably going to end up throwing out most of it and keeping the A-frames, that basically the legs and the supports, and using that as a template for just all the wood I'm going to buy from the mill. We're going four-wheeling. There's going to be a lot of crunchy sounds, scrapey sounds. The paint on this car is not precious. As you can see, it's pretty beat up. I mean, my neighbor tried to help me pick it up, and then this just ripped off. But what's underneath is a little healthier. So this cross support, that might be dubious. Those might be the first things to go, but these legs look good, and I think the other side is good. And so I think I'd like to just try and remove all this stuff. They have a junk pile right over here from their recent construction. They've recently bought the property, so I don't think they'll mind a couple rotting pieces of wood thrown in there. So I need to get this design. It uses 4 pieces that go across to support the tabletop, and then 2 of them brace with this angled brace here, and then 2 of them are used to secure it to the legs. I don't have I have to go get a measuring tape. So this is a disaster, but I am going to keep the little A-frame pieces. So it's going to save me a few bucks and just give me a template to start with. Could be worse. I'm going to get all these free butterfly bolts as well. So that's all I got. But that's the leg assembly for both sides. And like I said, it helps me just to have that. I can actually probably keep the legs and those diagonal supports for now and replace them later. But it just gives me something to start to work with, because I've never built a picnic table and I don't want to start from the beginning totally when I can just get really mostly straight planks and drill some holes. So I'm going to work with that. So I'm using a 2003 Chevy tractor. That was gross sounding. Which in this situation is pretty groovy, because this little truck doesn't have much ground clearance, but it has a little bit, you know, compared to a Caprice or something. It's great. But what it does have is great analog four-wheel drive. And it's super small wheelbase, short wheelbase, and very light. So there's a lot to be said for the Geo and Chevy tractors, for their tininess. And this is a four-door, but it's still so tiny. I get the best parking spots that nobody else wants. And they didn't even fall off. So we're gonna store these with the other wood. And then tomorrow we're going to go to the mill and get more wood for the bridge and wood for this. Out here, you know, mitering these angles in correctly when I cut it, saving money on wood. This support, both those supports are in roughly good shape for now. I don't have to get a miter box or get an angle finder or pencils, and I don't even have a table saw or circular saw, you know, so whatever I do is going to be with like a chainsaw or a handsaw. So having this is actually pretty helpful. It's very helpful. I took the measurements before I took it apart of where the pieces are, and so I think I'm going to be all right. Now I'm going to find out how much wood I actually have in this pile. Some of this is rough cut timber, and some of it is pressure treated. All looks the same because it's just got that country, you know, tint to it. So we'll see. Let's organize this stuff. See what we got. I mean, I'm not a fan of chemicals and stuff. I'm always trying to find ways to work with wood that's not pressure treated. But I mean, I tell you, this is from probably a 20-year-old deck when it was rebuilt, and my friend gave it to me, and it's been sitting out here for over a year, soaking wet with, you know, ant colonies growing in it, and it's still completely usable for, you know, a fucked up, reconditioned picnic table. So we found out we had plenty of wood to make, I think we have enough wood to make the table with, to make a restored picnic table. I got one 2x2 to replace the rotten pieces that I'm going to have to get rid of. And that was, what, like $8 for 8 feet. I'm going to replace this piece on both of these legs, and then I'm just going to start. I'm going to make the benches and put it on, and then make the top, and hopefully we'll have a table. We don't have too much time. It's 4:00-something, 4:03, and I have plans with a friend tonight, so let's see how far we get. So yeah, I would guess if I'm backward designing this table, looking at these nice lag bolts with butterfly nuts, yeah, it was probably sold flat, and then you would, and the chair, probably the seats were already assembled, and the top was already assembled, and then you would just connect this to that. Never bought a table in pieces and assembled it like this. Now I'm going to put this right back together, but I got to get these out, these guys, and it's going to be easier if I can just work with it instead of being trapped to this shape while I try and knock out sharp, stabby, tetanus-filled objects. So I'm going to work on this for a minute. I got to pound these nails out, figure that out, and then I'm going to put this back on, and then I'm going to replace this. That's my goal. Uh-oh. I think this battery's almost kicked. Yeah. Come on. Out of 4 bolts, only one of them stayed, you know, without turning once I got it tight. 2, I make that 2. Okay, but that's better than none on a, you know, reconditioned, saved, old, rotted picnic table. Okay, so all I have to do now, I just got to repeat. Sorry about the crazy camera angles, but with the tripod that came, opened it, and it was not working, and the other tripod's holding the Wi-Fi, so I kind of just have to sit the camera down where I can. So sorry about the bad cinematography. But all I have to do is make another one just like this and replace the other piece, which is sitting right there. All right, well, the shadows are getting long and I gotta clean myself up, get that wood off the car, and go meet a friend. So, but yeah, these A-shaped leg sections have been refurbished as best as I can make them, and I've put the screw holes. There's some other holes for the seats that are coming, so I've put those pilot holes in, and that's about all we can do for now, but it'll go hopefully steadily when I get back to it tomorrow. Alright, so from this point moving forward, I have this great little, you know, work area over here, but I'm building a picnic table that's going to weigh hundreds of pounds, especially with this soaking wet, old, pressure-treated wood. So I need to build it where it's going to stand. So let's go for a walk. So I think just build the picnic table right here. Nice place to sit, no mowing needed, and it can be moved once I have other people to help me as needed. So I have enough of these 2x6s to make the bench seats, which is really what starts the whole thing and holds it together. My friends Chris and Maria gave me these 2 old benches made out of scrap wood to knock around in the woods with, and man, they serve many a purpose when it comes to construction. Oh boy. That's something. We got nothing here. Let's try the other battery just to see if we can get anything out of it, but I don't think so. Ay, 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 power, power, power. So, we gotta do handsaw. I don't want to deal with chainsaw. Chainsaw is a whole thing, getting it out, getting it working, safety gear. So no. Real ugly. Look like a blind man's caught that one. Oh well. They all kind of do, to be honest. This side of this piece of wood has a big old knot in it, so it's going to be less than fun to cut. Those are my guesstimations. So if I get this like that, I can cut it without the blade lock nut getting in the way. Okay, got my iced tea. Let's get it away from the sawdust. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with iced tea. And please, let me just get through this. Okay, didn't put my glasses on to protect my eyes, but it's done. Three cuts, that's all I'm asking from you, buddy. 3 straight cuts. One. All right, gave me 3 cuts. Putting this back on a charge anyway. Alright, so yeah, this can work. So I'm loosening these a bit. This allows me to slide it a little bit to and fro and still make sure that it's right up against the diagonal support here. That's pretty sweet. Almost, sawdust. All my screw holes line up, and it is right up against this thing. So I think we're going to get added stability from that. All right, there's our table doing its job, holding a beer. So, you know, I never got it quite level. I was sort of level to itself, but like it's kind of on an incline slightly that way, so it leaned that way when I was assembling it. I don't think I'll ever get that lean out of it. If I look at it from some angles, it's definitely sort of leaning that way, but it's so shored up. Stronger than it was originally, I'm sure. So let's take a look underneath. Right after I signed off saying I was done, I forgot that there was like 10 screws I had to put in, and that's these guys on either side that secure the ends of the table to the legs, which was silly of me to forget, but whatever. It took me a few minutes to get them in. So yeah, you got screws there, you got those butterflies there, you've got this cross 45-degree-ish angle with lots of screws in it. You've got, and that's directly connected to this, and you have these screws are going through both this and into the top, and then there's also screws here tacking it in, and then you got this next support, and the original supports were like 2x2s, so these are, you know, 2x4s, hemlock rough cut 2x4s, and then you have this other 2x6 there, like the other one, just like the other one, same thing, connected, and then this is tied in. So yeah, and there's the benches that got rebuilt, and so yeah, for something that started out as only a pair of legs, set of legs. This is a real table. It's legit. It ain't going nowhere. Oh yeah. Yeah, this would take many people to move. Yeah, it's solid. I don't think a beer ever tasted so good. Yeah, that was a lot. Took a lot of figuring and finagling, not having, you know, all the right tools and things like that, but whew, totally worth it. I got 1 day left before I go back. So it's, you know, do I cancel everything and just do recreation for a day, which I surely deserve. You know, go swimming, go fishing, a little bit of both. Do I work on this bridge over here, just out of frame? Which is, you know, the practical thing to do. Also practical is building another shed, going getting, you know, 8 more pallets and building another shed. So probably the safest and most practical thing to do for this campsite and for me and for anybody that comes to visit is to make a crossable bridge that's just really, really safe.